Hi, this is this week's video analysis for Orbex.com. My name's Ian Coleman. We're going to be looking at the FX majors, but we're also going to be looking at a few of the crosses this week because I think they've got far more interesting setups for potential buy trades. And in particular, we're going to be looking at the Euro crosses, Euro New Zealand, Euro CAD, and Euro Aussie. So we're going to start with the Euro dollar. We're going to be looking at the short-term time frames for the FX majors. We still believe that we're in a bullish reverse head and shoulders pattern. So this being the left shoulder, head, and then potentially we've got a right shoulder down here, which is at 112.31. We did see a reaction at the 78.6% pullback level, which is at 112.70, but we have seen a correction lower. So this could be an AB CD formation down to here. Short-term time frames, DMARC has posted a 9 count on this 4-hour chart, which normally means that we're going to see at least a correction to the upside. So we might see some choppy trading first thing on Monday. But like I said, we're going to be concentrating on the Euro crosses, and the Euro crosses actually highlight that there should be limited downside for Euro dollar this week. Sterling dollar, we're in a large expanding wedge formation. Obviously a very tricky currency pair to forecast at the moment. The expanding wedge has a bias to break to the upside, a break of 128.37, and the measured move target is 131.75. Dollar Swiss, elliott wave formation to the downside, 5-wave count. We've then seen a reaction lower from the trendline resistance, but similar to euro dollar, or the opposite to euro dollar, we could see a higher correction towards 101.15 in what looks like an AB CD formation. Dollar yen, we broke this wedge formation to the downside. We had an impulse break. However, the rally stalled, and in fact we've seen a very decent correction to the upside. We need to see a break of this swing low, 113.19, for the next leg lower down towards 111.40. Dollar CAD, this is the weekly chart. We've seen this wedge breakout. We've seen a retest, or a very close retest, of the reverse trendline resistance. We do have support this week coming in at 131.95. It needs to break there for the medium-term bias to continue to the downside. Aussie dollar, impulse wave formation to the upside, so 5-wave pattern. We then saw an ABCD formation to the downside. We did get long at 72 the figure, so we've seen quite a decent move higher. However, this could turn in to a bearish head and shoulders pattern, so this being the left shoulder, this being the head, and then a right shoulder up here, and we could see a more prolonged correction to the downside, 71.80. But at the moment, as long as we don't break 72.28, which is the weekly support, then our intraday bias is still to the upside in Aussie dollar. Euro sterling, the weekly chart really is what we're focusing on at the moment. We've got a trendline break, or a channel breakout. We've got reverse trendline resistance at 89.57. As long as that doesn't break and hold, then the bias is still to the downside in Euro sterling. Euro yen, we've had about 10 days of mixed trading. This looks to be forming a bullish ascending triangle formation. We've got trendline support here, which is at 128.01. We've got bespoke support at 128.10. So we're looking for any sell-off in euro yen to be limited. So like I said, we're going to concentrate on these three crosses. So we're going to go to Euro New Zealand first. We're going to break down time frames from higher time frames to lower time frames. The monthly chart, mixed trading. We had a bearish outside candle in October, which has projected this cross currency to the downside. The medium term bias, or the long term bias, still looks negative for Euro New Zealand. If we go to the weekly chart, we can see we've got a channel breakout Reverse trend line resistance is at 172.75 and is a short-term correction target. So if we do see a bounce to the upside, then our target level is going to be around about 172.75. If we go to this time frame, which is the daily chart, we can see that we're very close to a 261.8% extension level, or 164.29. As long as we close this week above 162.25, then the bias reverses. We're looking for a correction higher towards that reverse trendline resistance. Euro CAD, and similar to Euro New Zealand, we're in a large triangle formation. Has an eventual bias to break to the downside. Weekly chart, and this skews that long-term bias. We've actually looked to be forming a bullish ending wedge pattern. We need to see a break of 151.20 for correction higher towards 155.86, which is the start of the wedge formation. If we go to this time frame, which is the daily chart, similar to Euro Yen, we look like we're making an ascending triangle pattern. A break of last week's high, or sorry, I should say Friday's high, and the measured move target is 155.10. And again, more importantly, is this time frame, which is the 30-minute time frame. We can see that levels close to the 261.8% extension at 150.33 have stalled the sell-off. We've got bespoke support at 150.21, and we're looking for that to trigger longs in Euro CAD this week. Euro Aussie, a large corrective channel formation. We have seen a bearish outside month again in October. We've had some follow through selling. However, there's no clear indication that this corrective channel has come to an end. We'd need to see a break of this trendline support here at 144.81. If we go to the weekly chart, we can see a bullish 5-wave count to the upside. We've got a 13 count, a DMARC 13 count on the weekly chart, and that normally highlights that the trend is coming to an end. If we go to the daily chart, again we're close to a 261.8% extension level. That's at 153.90. If we go to the shorter time frame, we can see that we've got a 261.8% extension level at 154.70. So all of these crosses are basically highlighting that there should be limited downside in the euro at the beginning of next week, but we prefer to concentrate on the crosses than we would actually on euro dollar, at least at the beginning of this week. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that video analysis, and we'll speak to you again soon.